Hello, it's Dawn again, and Pastor Mike suggested that I make a videotape about the reasons why I would like to be a school board member. Even though, of course, I spoke at the last church board meeting, he said it might be a good idea to turn in a video to refresh people's memories. So that is what I'm doing. I just wanted to refresh. I think I have a unique set of skills and experience in that I have an education degree, a bachelor's and a master's, and I have taught all levels, kindergarten, through 8th grade. I have taught high school, college. I've taught all over the place, all kinds of subjects. And so I come from I have a teacher background. So I know what it's like to stand on that side of the desk, and I know what it's like to stand on the parent side of the desk, wondering what the teacher might be doing. And the teachers wondering what the parents are doing. I know what the teachers need. I know what parents need. So I feel like I'm bringing a unique set of characteristics to this position. I also have a background in public relations. I used to run my own public relations company several years ago, so I'll bring that in later, how that would help me with this school board position. Currently I'm subbing in 3 different schools, K through 12, all subjects. And I think that gives me, it keeps me fresh in what's out there and what kids are like in different schools and what teachers are like. I feel like I know a lot about different kinds of schools and what people are doing and saying and thinking. And that brings me to, I have a lot of experience at Midland. I've been involved with Midland for 10 years. 2008 is when our oldest daughter started attending there. And I have gotten so involved over the years that I tried to calculate it, and I think I put in about 2 hours minimum each week on volunteering or doing something over at Midland or being at Midland. I am the kind of a unique situation as well. I am the parent of an elementary student, the parent of a high school student, and the parent of a graduate of Midland. So I have my fingers in all those different areas of Midlandism. I've also done a little public relations for Midland. I've edited some pamphlets, and I've written and taken pictures for the website, and I've done a lot of advertising of events. So if you came to Acro Club's home show lately and you heard about it, that was because I got the word out. I also have subbed a lot at Midland, and because I'm over there and because I'm working with the kids and with the teachers, I know all but maybe 4 kids on the high school wing. I know everybody by face, but I don't know their names, and all those kids know me. They know, oh, there's Mrs. Burke. I know a good portion of the kids on the elementary wing, certainly everybody from 6th grade on up, and I know all the teachers. They know me. I know all the staff. They know me. I'm very involved at Midland, so I know what's going on. And so I have a good idea of what is going well and what might need to be changed. That brings me to my goals for the school board. One of my first goals is teacher accountability. I've been told by several teachers over at Midland that they have not had a principal come and observe them teaching in 6 years. And that tells me that these teachers aren't getting assessed, they aren't getting feedback, they aren't getting help, they aren't getting enriched the way that somebody who would be very involved in their classrooms would provide. That also tells me that if there's a big issue with a teacher, it's just not being dealt with and hasn't been dealt with for 6 years, and that's telling. Some of the teachers are really passionate, some not so much, some really, really are lacking in that area, and just teacher accountability is so, so important. And I know that the high school teachers, each one of the high school teachers has at least 5 or 6 preps, which means that's 5 or 6 classes they have to prepare to teach every day. Plus, they all have a class that they're sponsoring, and they have something extra, like Mr. Bourne has the Acro Club, Mr. Carr has the swim team, and he has the track and field club. These teachers are really involved, and I think, frankly, they're overworked, and that the school board needs to come in and look for ways that we can support them. And I was even thinking of having school board members volunteer to help a teacher in sponsoring a class. You know, let me make the phone calls. Let me organize a fundraiser for you because I know you really need to teach. I also don't want to be afraid to address big, important issues with teachers if a teacher is having some problems. Another thing that's very high on my list of things to address on the school board is the spiritual apathy and just the dark cloud of negativity that is hanging over Midland in the high school. I don't think it's quite at the elementary, but it's bound to trickle down soon. It's pretty bad at the high school, and something needs to change very quickly because I think we're going to start losing kids. I firmly believe that we have a full-time science, full-time history, full-time English, full-time math teacher, but Bible, we piecemeal out to whoever. They may or may not be a teacher, they may or may not be trained, they may or may not want to teach Bible, but here, teach Bible. That speaks volumes to our kids that we do not have a full-time Bible teacher. This is a Christian school. This is an Adventist school. These kids need to be shown that we place a huge value on Jesus and on Bible and on the teacher who teaches Bible full-time. I think that's just very important. A Bible teacher would help with that. I also think that another thing that would really help with the spiritual apathy and just the negativity in the high school wing is if the board members, the staff, the teachers, if they all pulled together and supported student-led functions, such as chapels on Friday. Why doesn't a board member or two, all the teachers, the staff, why don't we show up and just support and so show that we think chapel is important, because not very many adults show up at chapel. And when there's a school function like a Vespers, or there's a talent show, or there's a benefit, I think it's very important for everybody to come together and just support those kids and just show their kids. If the adults are involved and engaged, I think that it might help the kids to be more engaged. So that's some ideas I have for the spiritual apathy and the negativity. Another thing that I would want to work for the school board is communications. Communications are lacking right now. There's not a lot of communication between the school board currently and the constituents. Neither the school or the parents. I've even been told that the teachers don't have a lot of connection with the administration over there, and there's just a lot of disconnect. I think there's a problem with communication, and I think that might be part of the problem of why school board members and maybe even staff don't know about functions that are happening, because there's just not a regular way to communicate. So I would draw upon that public relations communication background and just insist that we build communication and keep it up. And finally, I would like to point out that I am a high school parent as well as elementary and graduate, but there are not very many high school parents on the school board. The elementary parents are very well represented, but for example, we only have one school board member who's a high school parent from Chapel Oaks. And I know high school is a whole different ball of wax. And it's important to have both perspectives, elementary and high school. And David Shelton is a high school dad. I think we need a high school mom up there too. And I would like to be there to help support the high school and what's going on there. So in summary, I would like to remind you about my vast experience in education, all grades, all subjects, 3 different schools, and my knowledge of what it's like to be a teacher and work in a school, and my knowledge of what it's like to be a parent. I am very involved with Midland. For 10 years I've been involved over there. All the teacher, staff, and kids pretty much know me and I know them. And my goals for improving Midland are teacher accountability, addressing the spiritual apathy and the negativity, communication, and getting a high school parent on the school board. Thank you so much for listening. Farewell!